can't go to square. You're gonna have to go right from that right to your other stance.
So is that basically what you're saying?
Yeah. So to me, the obvious thing would be some sort of left up.
Is that what you mean?
I'm sorry. No, sorry. Wrong hand. It'd be a right up. I'm sorry. Yeah. See, you're off balance. You're gonna have to. I don't know if you gotta do it faster or if you gotta not jump so high, but you gotta get your feet down so that. Okay. So, but here's my thing though. So throw it and stop. Don't go back to orthodox. I said don't go back to orthodox.
Okay.
Throw it and stop. Okay, so now if we throw the hook and pivot at the same time, nope, the other hook, nope, Garrett, we're off to a bad start. You're not listening to me. Throw the hook, which would be your lead hand, and pivot at the same time. Yep, and then throw the straight left. Yeah, like that. Now put that all together and see what it looks like. Kind of like that, but do this for me first. As a blinder, put the jab out in front. Just hold the jab out. Okay. Now do the switch. Do the whole thing. I think you gotta. You don't want to jump when you pivot. You just want to pivot because you're going too close. You gotta pivot further. Yeah, you're still hopping on the hook instead of pivoting on the hook. There you go. It's a better spot to me. What do you think about that?
I like it.
I think it works if so. Every time we do it where you're staying in place like this, I don't like it. But that's not how you're going to do it. You're going to be moving around. You're going to stop, do that real quick, slide over. I think it works if we do it that way.
Right.
Now do it from the other side. You got to throw the hook as you pivot. That looks good. Let me ask you this. Do you think if we threw a straight punch there, it's better as far as the first one? So put your jab out. So throw your other hand as you do that jump step. Yep. Then throw your hook. Almost like that better. Only reason I like that better is when you're throwing that body shot, your hand's down.
Right.
So you didn't really hop there. And I think that you can. I mean, I'm telling you to do that sequence. I think there's a bunch of things you could do off of that.
A lot.
Just kind of wanted to see. So go back to orthodox and try throwing a straight punch.
Okay.
No, see that was a pivot. That wasn't that jump step. Okay. All right. Did you get a chance to watch that?
Yes.
That video, or at least some of it?
Yes.
So, did you see how his hand is just like they're connecting, but it's not connecting hard? I think that works almost better than the feint. So, I want you to move around in your orthodox stance and I want you to throw your jab, but at about 50%.
Okay.
Okay, so here's what you're doing differently than he's doing. So you're feigning some and throwing some. He's just pumping one out after another. Okay, so that's a little bit less than 50%.
Okay.
It's still got to be. Otherwise, I'm going to come over the top of the right hand. But don't go full. To see what he does that I really like is he's doing that. Okay, throw one at 100% just so I can see the difference. Okay, but do like 50 and then 100, 50 then 100.
Okay.
Do it like that so I can see the difference. Keep going. I need to see it a few times. Okay, when you go hard, stop trying to throw your shoulders and your body and everything else behind it. Just
Okay.
you're just throwing it faster. That's all. There you go, like that. Okay. So what I like is what I just said about coming over the top. That's what they try and do. So when they do that, he slides to the left, rips that left body shot, and then comes back over and rips a right body shot, and that's how he dropped the guy.
Yeah.
So as you're going around, every third or fourth one, I want you to slip to your left, throw that body shot, but don't stay over there. Come right back to center and then throw the right body shot.
Okay. You want them as these, not hooks, right?
Well, no, he kind of throws it as a long hook to the body,
Okay.
right underneath the elbow. Okay, so this is what I didn't like about that. So slide over to your left, throw that. Yeah, see how you're staying there? That's exactly what I'm talking about. So throw it, come back, and let that momentum of you coming back start the right hand. Does that make sense? There shouldn't be a pause. That's still real mechanical instead of loose. That was better. Oh, that was ugly. What was that? Those gotta be fast. There we go. And then right back to the jab. There you go, like that. Now, here's my other issue I have with you. So, even though when I say 50%, they should all still be going straight.
Okay.
He just like tap, 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 and then he'll do that, or he'll tap his jab like that, and then let a right hand go.
Okay.
So you're the reason I can tell you're not extending your hand is your elbow's still bent. It's not straight. So just try and relax and go slow. Yep. And then sometimes just let a right hand go after 3 or 4 of them. And then nope, see? And then you gotta go right back to the jab again. Okay, so when I say go right back to the jab, now you're rushing it. I don't mean to rush it. I mean just don't pause after the right hand comes back. When the right hand comes back, throw the jab. Try not to throw the jab as you're stepping over,
Okay.
because you're doing that a little bit. And sometimes, like with him, he was kind of walking the guy down, so he's not stepping over. He was just staying in front of him with his jab pumping back and forth. now step over. But be okay staying there for a second. Then we don't end up, because when you stop for a second, when you end up stepping over with your jab, you're pulling your jab further away.
Okay.
So it's a lot less likely to land. We're still trying to land it. I mean, ideally, what I would like is this, where we're throwing that punch 70% of the way, and the neck one's all the way at 50%, and then we're back to the feint, and then it's at 100%, and then, you know what I mean?
Right.
So you're varying your jab at 50%, 70, 100, and then also the feint at, say, 70% of the distance. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Bigger circle. Don't feint with the foot. We don't need it. Okay, now do this for me. When you throw the lead right hand, go ahead and throw or not the lead, but when you throw it after the jab, go ahead and add a left hook to the head. And then after you throw the right to the body, when you're doing that one, throw a left hook to the head.
Okay.
And then right back to the jab. See how there's that delay? That delay is when you're going to get hit.
Okay.
Nice. Yep. Okay, so that's correct, but it's not smooth.
Okay.
If you gotta slow down a bit, slow down a little bit. Stance is really, really wide, man. Try and shorten that up a little bit. Okay, so maybe here's one thing. Maybe on the hook, quit trying to kill it so bad because I think it's throwing you off balance.
Okay.
All right, tell you what, I got a better idea. When you throw the hook, throw it and do a real short pivot.
Okay.
So you can, you're turning with it just a little bit and then let another right hand go.
Okay.
Try that. Okay, that time you threw two hooks though,
Saw that.
and you pivoted too far. Don't pivot that far. See that? Did that feel smoother? Because it looks smoother. Okay. Don't stop it. That's a bad habit. Good. That looked real fluid. Okay, here's only I like everything I'm seeing, but now the jabs are almost all just 70%.
Okay.
Some of those have to be full extended jabs. For no other reason than just to be in his line of sight. Don't hop. Quit hopping. Okay, now do this for me. I just want to see something. So, square up to the, or not square up, but line up to the camera. Okay, so I want you to do short, short pivot with the hook. That's too far. Go half the distance between there and where you just did. Yep, okay. Now take your lead foot and pull it back to square. Yep. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then from that point, you could actually pivot on your left foot back forward into your southpaw stance. Yep. See what I'm saying? There's so many different things you can do. And we worked on this a few months ago where that pivot was a quarter, or basically, you know, at 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 5. Remember that?
I do.
So you need to start doing. In fact, let's do that right now. So go the turn that you just did.
Okay.
Now go so that you're facing the other door. So one more click. Nope. See, that's you got to go a little further.
Okay.
There you go. Now go one more tick. Yep. Keep going to 6 o'clock. That's not quite 6. There you go. Now listen, I don't. If you can get a pivot in between those, that's fine. But you weren't doing that before. You were basically going 12, 3, 6, and 9. And if you can do little ticks in between like that, I think that works because let's do this. Go back to where you started. So, nope, that's not where you started. You were facing the camera. Yep. So go one tick over. Okay. Pivot square.